One.
There
Right.
it goes.
Welcome to Mindset Monday. We have a special guest tonight. Her name is Donetta, and she is incredible. And will you share with them? She's going to talk about working your business on the go, especially when you're busy. And I think all of us are at that point. So take the floor, my dear, again.
Okay. I'm Donetta. I've been with Scentsy for 15 years this September. And about, well, I started to say 10 years ago, but it's been more than 10 years. My husband and I dreamed of traveling for about 10 years before we were able to make it a reality. And in 2020, we sold our house and almost everything we owned in order to travel full time. So I have been working my business on the go, on the road since the middle of 2020. So everything that I do is online. I don't do anything in person. I have done a couple of small events whenever I've been back for the holidays visiting or something like that. But for the most part, everything is online. And I just work my business from our travel van. We have a Dodge ProMaster travel van that we live in and travel all around the country in. And so that's how I work my business and do things. And I am I'm a type A person and have my lists and my spreadsheets and all of the things like that. Like that's just my jam. That's what I am all about. And so I have lots of systems in place in order to run my business. And so I'm just going to show you a couple things. So because I am living in a van, I have very, very little space in order to cart stuff around and have stuff. So I have a drawer in my one of my little caddies that is my business drawer. And I have one of these bags that has like thank you cards and envelopes and my stamp and pens and all of that. So it's in one little bag so I can work. I also have, I'm just going to show you my stuff first and then I'll tell you kind of what I do. I have this amazing little printer. If you guys don't have one of these are incredible. You can create an image in Canva or whatever. You can have it in your phone, bring it into the app, print it, and it prints a little sticker that you can put on anything. And I send, because all of my orders are online, I send Happy Mail to all of my customers and I do a thank you card with a scent circle and I'll print a sticker of whatever I'm trying to market to them, whatever I want to promote. And I'll put a sticker on the front of the scent circle and it'll have a QR code that'll go to whatever I'm trying to show them. So that's what I use that for. Super, super handy. And then I have a folder that has like my labels and my stamps and the stickers. I send those out to my customers. Um, I also do, I have little things that I'll print, like little brag tags that I'll put in my Happy Mail. I have the Scentsy Club information. Sometimes I just do the sticker, sometimes I do flyers, sometimes I do both. I have some customers. Scentsy Club is something that I really, really, really try to push and try to make sure that everybody understands and knows about. And so sometimes I have customers who would benefit greatly from Club and they're just not doing it. And so I just keep like putting more and more stuff in their thing, like, you need to be doing this. So, do you have a home base where you have supplies sent to you? If you do, I yes and no. I have we stay at my daughter's in Oklahoma City whenever we come back for family or for things that we need to do. And so if I am here and I'm going to be here for a while, we're here now, so that's why I'm saying here. If I'm going to be here for a little bit, then I can order stuff. I don't do the monthly subscription. I do have a club. I just have it quarterly and I'll just have it shipped to her and then get it the next time that I'm at her house. Um, so things like that are a little bit more challenging. I can order, I haven't had to do this in quite a while because we've come back and forth for family things frequently enough that I've been able to get stuff. But you can also have things shipped to other locations. So I'll have it shipped to a UPS location and just go pick it up. The only hard thing with that is you don't know how quickly Scentsy will ship it out, and so you have to time it just right, and that can be a challenge. Um, but I do that. But then I try to stock up on supplies, like my scent circles and that kind of thing, whenever I know I'm going to be somewhere for quite a while and I can order it. We're going to be house sitting at the end of April and beginning of May in Ohio, so I'll probably do an order and have it shipped there while we're there and stock up on my circles again. That way, have plenty to last me for several months, hopefully. But I do that. um, yes, that is a thermal printer. Yeah, I can give you the link. It's a cheap little printer. Sorry, I didn't even notice that those were going by over there. Hi, Delinda. Um, and if you have questions about something in particular, definitely put it there. But so basically what I do is just have lists in my reminders app. That's the main way that I stay organized, is through the reminders app. I use that literally all day, every day, for everything. Everything that I need to remember is in there, because there's no way that I'm going to remember it myself. So I have a list for daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks, and then even like 6 month and yearly, because some things, you only do when a catalog changes or something like that. So as I've gone through the years, and I realize, okay, I need to be doing this regularly or that regularly or whatever, then I'll add it to my list. And so I've been able to build that up over the years and have all of the information and the things that I need to remember in that list. And so then I have, I don't know if you use the app, but the really cool thing about it, you can have a reminder without a date or a time attached to it, and it'll just be there so that you can go through and look. But if you add a date or a time, then it'll pop up and you can look at the today list, and it'll show you everything that you need to do on that day, and it'll pull from all of your lists. So if I have something that I need to do daily, like say thank you for an order, if somebody has ordered from me, that'll pop up daily, and so that'll show up. If I have something like do my thank you cards, I do that weekly, sometimes twice a week, then it'll pull in on the day that I have that scheduled, and it'll say, okay, do this today. And so it makes it really easy to stay on top of things, because I can just work through that checklist and I can click it off as I do it, which I'm the kind of person that likes to click it off, or cross it out, or if you're doing it on paper or whatever. I like that satisfaction of saying, okay, this is complete. So I can do that. So that's the main way that I stay organized. Um, Oh, you're taking notes to ask me. Okay. Yeah, interrupt me if there's questions that I need to answer and I don't see it.
Hey, what's the app called, Donetta? I'm in the app store right now and I see a remind.
It's it's um it's the reminders app. It comes what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the iPhone. You don't have
Oh,
to
it's already on it.
download it.
Well, come on, Jack, get it together.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, just like this.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
Well, I'm going to start
Yep.
using it.
Oh, it's incredible. I couldn't function in life without that app at this point.
So, like, just for
Because
fun,
I use it for everything.
are you on your phone right now or computer?
No, I'm on the computer.
Like, if
I have my phone.
will you pull your phone? I just want to see all, like, you have a bunch of stuff probably in there, huh? So
I do. Yeah. I keep track of well, I'll just kind of go through and show
I
you.
would love to
Yeah,
see.
so I have little,
Oh yeah, okay.
it's not board.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
too
I see
bright.
it. I see it.
Um, yeah, they're all there. But at the top, you can have the boxes that say today, and I've created one that says tomorrow. So if I need to look ahead because I have a really busy day the next day, and I think, is there something that I need to make sure I get done, then I can look at tomorrow's tasks and work ahead if I need to. Because I used to work Scentsy every day. Um, since it's not as busy as it was there for a while, I don't. I usually just work on Mondays and Thursdays. And then, I'll go in and check for orders and say thank you and stuff like that every day. But as far as sitting and working through my tasks that need to be done, I do that on Mondays and Thursdays typically. So as far as systems go, I can just kind of share some of the things that I do. Is that kind of what you're looking for that you want me to share?
Oh, I was muted.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
You guys
Okay.
can.
No, I just looked up and saw the kitty cat. Okay, so that's not what I want. Okay, checking like if I have a Facebook party going on or a text party. I do Facebook and text parties is mostly what I do. I have it to check party posts and see if I need to post anything or answer comments or whatever like that. So reminders for that. And if I need to reach out to my host and do some host coaching, I've got that in my reminder. Um, what else? Thank yous. I have other stuff in here too, so not all of it's work, and I have to go through. Thank you cards. I stay on top of those because all of my orders are online. I stay on top of those and do them at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, kind of depending on how many orders I have coming in and how busy it is. Um, I have a reminder to talk to somebody about hosting or joining every day. I'm not so good at following that one. Sometimes I check it off because it has sat there and I haven't done it. So, yeah, shame on me for that, but I do have a reminder to do that. And then I keep all of my customers listed in Trello, and that way I know who I need to reach out to, and I have them organized by month. So right now, obviously it's April. I'm going to start working through all of my customers that I have listed under the month of April. And then it depends on the customer where I move them to next. Some customers I reach out to every month, sometimes more
Where it
than once a month
was. Oh, well,
because they
sure.
order frequently. But sometimes it might be 2 or 3 months before I reach out to a customer again because they just don't use it as much or they don't answer me very often or, whatever. You get to know what your customers' buying habits are, and some of them just don't buy as often. And so some of them I might move to May, some of them I might move to June, some of them maybe July or even later. But one of the things that I preach to everyone, do not stop reaching out. Don't take them off of your list unless they ask you to stop. Because I have had customers that I have reached out to for years with no response, but I still send them a message, at least for every catalog. I don't do it like regularly, but I'll do it at least for every new catalog. And I'll even ask, hey, are you still interested or are you not using Scentsy anymore? Sometimes they don't answer me, but sometimes they do. And I have had customers come back. Like I have one customer who came back after 6 years. He hadn't purchased a single thing, but I had continued reaching out every catalog. And now he has purchased hundreds of dollars from me within the last year. And he's a club customer now. He set up a club and wants to hear all about all the Disney stuff and everything. So 6 years I didn't hear from him, but now he buys regularly and frequently and sometimes really big orders. So don't ever stop unless they ask you to stop. That's one of my biggest tips for customers. um, so Trello is how I keep track of that. And then I use Project Broadcast and I use tags in order to be able to reach out to certain customers for certain things. So for example, today we had the Mother's Day bundles and the pet stuff launch. So I was able to go in and see who I had tagged with wanting to hear about special collections. And I sent a message to all of those people, and I've had people messaging me all evening. um, and then people who were interested in the pet care products, I was able to send them a message and say, hey, we have pet stuff. And I got a couple orders already, and I just sent that out this evening. So having specific tags for your customers and knowing what they're interested in. And even if you don't use Project Broadcast, you can do that in the workstation too. They have tags in there. I was using that in Project Broadcast before they came out with that for Scentsy. And so that's where I am using it. But you can do a lot of the stuff through the Connect app and the workstation and keep track of people like that, because reaching out to them for the specials and letting them know what's going on is is how you stay connected. That's how you're going to get the orders. You can't just post it and hope that they order. that's usually not going to get orders. You can post it as icing on the cake so that, it's maybe showing up for people in their social media feed or whatever, but most people are not going to reach out to you to order from a social media post. It needs to be one-on-one communication. So texting them or putting it in an email newsletter sometimes works. I used to get pretty good response from my email newsletter. I usually do that every week. Sometimes I'll skip a week if we don't have anything new coming out. But I haven't gotten as good a response from that. I don't know if you guys have, or if everybody is kind of seeing the same, that email isn't doing as well. But texting does do well for me. So that's what I do with my customers. Um, I always make it a habit to check the Scentsy blog and the Scentsy YouTube channel because they'll post some really cool things on there. And I usually share those whenever there's something new. I'll share those to my business page so that my customers who follow me there can see it, and I can share stuff like that to my VIP group as well. Um, what else? Those kinds of things are on my weekly list. Sharing about Mindset Monday weekly. So those just, keeping up with your to-do lists and things that need to be done. If you like keeping track of stats for yourself, I create spreadsheets in Google Sheets, and I keep track of things. And so I'll record things every month at the end of the month so that I know, what that month looked like, and I can compare it to past years and kind of see how my business is doing and what I'm personally doing and things like that. So, oh, it's already 8:23. I wasn't sure how long I had talked.
You're doing great. You see Jess's comment. She said, "Do all your customers pay for shipping outside of party order? Do you send back?"
Yes.
Okay. Mhm.
I do not send, I don't have a lot of stuff, so I don't do a lot of the extras. I don't send, um, I do send Happy Mail for every order. So I have thank you cards that I do, and I put a scent circle in there, and then like I said, marketing material and stuff. So I'll put like the information about club, or I'll put information about hosting or joining. I have a flyer that I made that talks about join, hosting, and club, how those are the three best ways to save with Scentsy, and I have a little bit information, and I have QR codes so that they can check that out. So I send things like that. But all of my customers have their orders direct ship. They all pay shipping. Some of them will order through me, like they'll tell me what they want and I put it in, but most of them go to my website. I send them links and they go and order. Um, that's how I get all of my scent circles. I don't pay for scent circles at all, even though every single customer gets one. I never have to buy any. So the I always have a party link open, and that's I have a landing page that I have built in Project Broadcast. So if you have that, then this is something that you can do. I created a landing page that has all of the specials listed, and that way they don't have to try to navigate through the website, because some people do really well with it, but some people get confused and struggle with it. And so I just created a page where they're all listed there, and I have a button that goes directly to each collection or category or whatever. And so that way, whatever they're interested in, they click that button and it goes straight to my PWS attached to my party. And so all of my orders end up, unless they're shopping through an actual party with a host, all of the orders end up on my party. It says no host, click here. And so they'll shop through that. And then I use those rewards to get my scent circles and things that I need or whatever. But yeah, they all pay for shipping and they all direct ship. That's one of the things that I've tried to share with people over the years. A lot of consultants kind of get hung up on the shipping and think that customers won't buy if they have to pay for shipping. And they think they always have to do the bulk order and put it in together and offer discounts and, figure out a way to get free shipping. And you don't have to do that. You have to kind of teach your customers, you have to transition. And I did that before we even were traveling. I was still in a house, and I could have had orders coming Oklahoma City metro area is huge. And so I had customers all over the place, and I was spending so much time and money doing that it wasn't feasible. It wasn't practical. And I was spending a lot of the money I was making. And so I started transitioning out of doing that even before I started traveling, which made that really simple because nothing changed whenever we took off. A lot of my customers don't even know that I'm not here anymore. If I don't have a like a personal relationship with them and just talk about Scentsy, then they don't even know. But if you start teaching your customers, hey, I'm gonna ship this right to your door. You're gonna get the whole thing, show up on your doorstep. You don't have to wait for me. You don't have to wait for a party order to go in. We don't have to coordinate deliveries. Like, share the perks with them. And it's worth $10. It's so worth $10 for them to do that. There will be a handful, maybe. I've probably only had in probably the last like 7 or 8 years since I started doing it this way, I've probably only had 2 or 3 people, and like that's full honesty. It's only been order, or I'm gonna find someone local or something like that. Most people are totally happy to pay it. So I think consultants get hung up on the shipping cost more than the customers do. Now, if you have customers saying like, what I just said, I don't want to pay for shipping or whatever, and you can get around it. Obviously, I'm not saying don't, but if you find yourself struggling like I was, where like this just isn't working and I can't keep this up, don't be afraid to direct ship your orders and just charge your customer shipping, especially if they're giving you the order. Sometimes they don't even know how much the shipping is. A lot of times my customers will say, this is what I want, what's my total, and I tell them, and they don't even question it. And so like they don't care how much it is, they just know it's going to show up at their door in a few days and they're going to be so excited. So you train your customers, don't be a doormat. Yes. Yes, boards is a great way, Patty. I have boards too, and I have some other things on there. Boards is a great way to do those kinds of things. Our shipping is a steal. That I honestly, I will tell people that too. Like if somebody does question, like I don't want to pay shipping, I'm like, you're actually getting a really big discount because shipping is expensive. $10 is nothing to ship an entire box full of Scentsy stuff. So, and they're usually like, yeah, that's true. Okay. Like, come on, people. $35. Now that's insane. Okay. Were there other questions?
I think you answered. I was looking back through. Glenda's, I offer for them to wait till I'm placing an order and no shipping if they do porch pickup. I love it. Yep. You're right though. I mean, Patty or Donetta, like people will be okay with whatever you tell them. Like I know Amy, Mark Charles, the homeschooling and all the things. She doesn't do any deliveries really. Everyone comes to her. If you're local, you come to her.
Yep.
That's just a known
Yep.
thing. I will say probably 90% of
Just
my customers I've trained to come to me. I do have a few in Yukon that they tend to order around the same time. So when one orders, I'll text the other two, and they all live within a mile. And so for theirs, if they do order, and I'm in Yukon every other day, I do kind of spoil them. But most of my customers come to my doorstep, and it's really nice.
That's awesome. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if it works for you and you're going to be there and you want to do that, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I have a customer, for example, she's one of my really good club customers, like really good. And she's been my customer for probably 10 or 12 years. Like she's been with me for a really long time. And she wanted a mini warmer that I had on hand and a base. And she works like, I don't know, 15 minutes from where my daughter is. And I told her I would bring it to her. Like I wouldn't offer that to most people, but she's a really good customer and she spends over $100 with me with her club order. And so of course I'm going to do it for her. So like, yeah, you figure out what works for you and what customers it's justified for. And if somebody wants one bar, I'm not going to drive that across town.
One thing that I love that you said, Donetta, is that your customers don't even know that you're not here. Like I love that. That is a true test to you and how you treat your customers, right? You are communicating with them, you're keeping them in the loop, right? You're not
Yeah.
traveling and then being like, "Oh, by the way, did you see we have a new catalog?" Right? You're consistent. And I think that's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. I reach out, my regular customers I reach out to most of them once a month at least, sometimes more. Because of the tags that I use, I've got a Google form that I created a long time ago, and I just kind of go in and update it each year. But I send out, it's basically just a checklist, and I'll send that out at the beginning of the year and say, let's update your interest in what you want to hear about for this year. And it's got like all of the different kinds of collections that we have and flash sales and, monthly warmers and stuff like that. And so they can select the things that they want to hear about. And so then, like some customers, I text them every month with the whiff box. Some of them I text every month with what the warmer of the month is. Some of them I text every month or every week that we have a new collection that comes out. And they don't order every time, but they want to hear about it. And even if they don't want to order it, I have a bunch that are like, I don't know if I need anything, but of course I want to look. I want to see what's coming out. So they enjoy hearing about it and seeing what the specials are and that kind of thing. So don't be afraid to reach out to people even frequently, because they'll tell you if they don't want it, and if they do, then they're going to enjoy getting those messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tammy, exactly. Gas is too expensive to be doing that.
And I do love like
And
I'm glad Donetta shared that story about a customer. I have some customers like I have a girl that's actually a clubber that lives on my street now. And so in her club processes, I'll randomly just put stuff on her porch. And so I think customer service is big. And so I have a customer, she's one of my favorite clubbers. She is incredible. Her daughter just went to college, so she's filling that empty nest and all the things. And so I knew that she was going through that. So on my one of my last party orders, I did the extra host half price and shipped directly to her a thing of laundry liquid because she loves laundry liquid. And you would have thought that I gave her $1,000. Like she texted me, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you just made my day." And I've been sad. And so it's really important, no matter how busy you are, no matter where in the world you are, no matter how much you travel, that you are just adding those touches, to your customers, even if you're not making personal deliveries. Maybe it's just shooting your customer a text. I have a customer that I'm hopefully going to get to see next week. But she was in the hospital. She'd have part of her lung removed. And so you better believe that I text her every day to check on her. And that was something that took just a few minutes. And to her, it meant so much. And so I'm going to go to her. We always meet at Starbucks and have coffee. I'm going to go to her next week. I'm going to bring her a little goodie bag. And so just remember, doing those things, your customers are going to be tied to you. And I know Dawnette is the same. She knows her customers personally because she's told me stories. And so the cool thing about that is no matter how busy, like I said, no matter where you're at in this world, if your customers feel like you care, they're going to continue to buy from you, even if you're 200 miles away from them, or even if you're going
yeah,
5 directions at one time, you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
One of the great things that, well, it made me think of one of the things that I do. What you just, sorry, let me start over. One of the things that you just said made me think of something that I do. And whenever I have a contact that, is getting married or is having surgery or, got hurt or whatever the case may be, because sometimes, I'll reach out to someone and they're like, "Oh, I would be interested, but, this is going on for me." And so on my little Trello card with their name on it, I will put out to the side, like one girl, her mom just passed away a couple months ago. And so I put that on there so I wouldn't forget, so that the next time I reach out to her, I can say, "Hey, how are you doing? I know, you've been struggling with the loss of your mom," or I've had customers, I got diagnosed with cancer, or I'm having surgery. And I've got one who had a knee replacement recently. And so I have that on there. So I can be like, "Hey, how's your knee doing? Are you getting around better?" And, it just, I can't remember all. Sometimes I do remember if it's a customer that, I know well or talk to more often or something, then I'm likely to remember. But, 15 years, I've got hundreds and hundreds of customers, so I can't remember all of it. And so if I put that note in there to remind myself and then, specifically ask them how they're doing whenever I reach out, that it really does go a long way and it really means a lot. And I'm not saying this because I'm amazing, but I do have people tell me, you do such a great job with customer service. And that means so much to me. And I always tell them that, how much I appreciate that. They'll be so sweet and be like, oh, you're so good at this and you're so consistent and you're so good at reaching out and stuff. So they do appreciate that and they do notice. So never be afraid to reach out to your customers, never feel like you're bothering them. I know that's a big thing with especially newer consultants, I think. Getting the hang of reaching out to people because you feel like you're bothering them and you're not bothering them. If they weren't interested in Scentsy, they would say, I'm not interested. One would hope anyway. Sometimes people just ignore you. But for the most part, if they're not interested, they're going to tell you. So if they haven't said that, they are interested. They do want to hear from you. And so don't be afraid to reach out. You're not bothering them.
I love it. You're so amazing. Amy, do you have any questions for her? Anything you want to add? Any input?
I don't think so. This is really good. Lots of ideas for everybody.
And I'll get any.
Well, I did think of something. Is there a way for you to share was it a Google form that you send out to your customers every year
Yeah,
to
I
ask about
created.
interest? Is there a
Yeah,
way to share that without us filling out your form? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I can post the link so that you can at least see it. It's Google. You can't share Google Forms, so you'd
Mhm.
have to just recreate it in your own
Yeah.
Google account. So yeah,
Yeah.
don't fill out my form, but I can share the link.
Okay.
Um, I mean, it wouldn't mess anything up if
Maybe
somebody
just at the top of the post, if you'll post it, then we'll approve it. But maybe say like, do not fill out. This is just for looking or something like that.
just to see as an example. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do that.
And then if you'll
Thank
post
you.
the thermal, I want this thermal printer. Like I want this little printer. I want it.
Okay, I'll find the link for that too. I've had that for a while, but I think
Hopefully
I
they.
got it on Amazon. So I should be able to find the link for it.
I love that. I love that. Anything else, Amy, that you can think of?
No, this was great though, Donetta. Thank you.
This was
Thanks.
so
You're
great.
welcome.
Thank you for
Happy to help.
coming on last minute too. You are a complete trooper. Seriously, me and Amy were chatting
You
and
caught me on a good day.
I did. Yay. That makes
Yeah,
me happy.
sometimes I'm not even able to get on live and watch, but
Yeah.
today I was going to be able to, and I even got dressed today.
You look
I
good. You
don't get dressed every
showered.
day.
I love it.
Yeah, sometimes I washed my hair this morning.
Good
Sometimes it's
girl.
not looking so good.
You were prepared for this and you didn't even know it. So I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
exactly.
Well, let me know. I know you said you're probably leaving this week, but if you come to Oklahoma City, if you have plans on coming like next month, let me know. Let me know so we can go grab coffee together. So
Okay.
awesome. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm so glad you guys hopped on. Please set a reminder. Use your new app that Donetta told you about. Donetta, I keep saying Donetta. Donetta, my neighbor down the street, that was her name. That's why. Told us about set a remind app for next Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time because it's the same link, all the same things, and we really hope that you join us. Thank you. I had a really crappy day start to the day. I told Amy about it early, just a snippet. And I just knew like watching baseball, coming on Mindset, seeing my other family on the screen has just made my night end well. So thank you guys for joining us. I love seeing all your faces tonight. And you rock. So thanks for doing this.
Rose right at the very end.
I will get this uploaded and recorded and I'll post it on Mindset and you're going to post your things on there too. So you guys will have it. But we will see you next Monday. Bye, everyone.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.